Hi, it's Dead Poetics. I owe you an update video, and this is number 5 as far as attempts go. The first time I screwed it up off my phone and I lost half of it, so I deleted it. Second time I tried on my computer and couldn't get the encoder to work right. Third time I just switched back to recording from my streaming profile, which I'm doing now. And now we're going on attempt 4, so I don't sound like Barry White, because for some strange reason my audio decided to go into the absolute basement as far as vocals are concerned. And while many of you may find that sexy, it really sounds weird after listening to it for over 30 seconds. Anyway, hi. So long story short, issues with the puppy are still going on. I went into more detail earlier, but I've decided that probably that doesn't really necessarily, you don't necessarily need to see that, you hear that, you know what's going on. She's suffering from transitional cell sarcoma, which is my dog is, which is a bladder cancer. It is terminal. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You either get a couple of months or you get, quite a few months, depending on what you decide to do. We decided to try to do the best we can. So we were on our last round of chemo treatment, not last week, but the week before last, when everything started to happen. And her body just didn't seem to be putting up with it as well as it had been. So that's what we've been dealing with. She's recuperated quite a bit. She's still not eating, probably because she still feels like crap. And I suppose that would be understandable. Having to go through the canine version of a little bit of dialysis probably will do that, which also it doesn't help it diminishes her quality of life, which is why we're hoping everything kind of comes back into decent par, which it seems to have been, actually, knock on wood. Anyway, that's where we're at with that, and we're watching it closely. We're trying to do what's best by her, and as long as she still seems to be happy and going car rides and going for walks, even though it's cold, so she doesn't want to go, but and treats and all that kind of thing. It seems like the only thing is she really just doesn't want to eat her regular food, but that could be because we've been spoiling her, as we should be. Anyway, following everything we possibly can be. Don't hate me for not getting into much of the gory details, and I don't need necessarily a whole lot of advice about from a medical field, but that's where we're at, and it's pretty heavy. I've lost family members in the past year. Not the past year, well, my grandmother was pretty much a year out from now or so. We lost Stacy's father around this time, a little bit earlier. Obviously, we just had a relative of a relative pass away. We've had, of course, all the different situations with COVID, with all of my family, my immediate family, living with us in this house for now because of jobs not letting people work in the office, so they're working remotely, all those kind of things. I've still been working remotely. It's been tough. All my wife's been working in the office, which is kind of nerve-wracking. But that's where we're at. And I think with Ruby getting sick last week, or 2 weeks ago now, I guess, it just really hit me a lot more than I thought it would, and it's taking its toll on me faster than I expected, and I'm not doing well with it. And for those of you who know me already, even though I can't claim it, but I'd be lying to say I wasn't affected by depression and anxiety, and it hasn't been something I've been fighting all my life. And for those of you who are watching this who know me, you're probably nodding your head like, yeah, we know that. For those of you who don't know me, be like, no, you don't. What are you talking about? You don't suffer nearly as much as I would expect. Well, maybe not, but enough to where it's been throwing me off. It's made me distracted, lack of focus. I can't get anything done. I can't keep myself on a subject. Don't want to sleep all the time. I don't know. And then this last week, I just felt crappy for a couple of days straight. Just tried to pick myself out of it and just couldn't. And it was more physically ill than anything else. I think a lot of it's due to that. So I've been cutting back and cutting alcohol out completely, or trying to as much as possible. It's the holiday season, so I can't cut it completely, but I'm going to try, because it just doesn't seem to make much of a good impact. and trying to exercise and all those kind of things. I've got a gym set up down here, as you may have seen in the background. It's hard to want to use it, but that's not the kind of update you want, of course. I mean, I should be telling you what we're going to be doing and how 2021 is going to be our year and all that kind of thing. What I can tell you is I've got some things planned, but basically I just need to get back on schedule, and that's what we'll try and do tomorrow. Is back at 6:30. Don't know what we'll be playing, so I'll pick something from the book. Just the random grab bag of stuff I've been playing with. And I hope to put the suit on this week. Tomorrow, hopefully. If not, then we'll try for one of the days this week. And see what it's like to actually stream with the Plague Doctor outfit. Because I told you I owed you guys that because we did meet the donation goal that we did for the little donation that we did have going. Which means we probably should do more of those in the future and pick some charities and try and do some things. But I'd be lying if I could say I'd be consistent and promise you and guarantee the world. I can't. I'm a small streamer. I'm a small content creator. And I'm just trying to keep my head straight. And it's not working. It's slowly losing. Like a lot of us are. But I don't have much to complain about. I've got it pretty good. It's just a few things that are enough to weigh me down. It's just hit me more than I've been acknowledging. I'll put it that way. And whether or not it's deserved or however you want to see it, I feel enough like a failure as it is most of the time. It's something you have to wrestle with, and you have to have a way of coping with it, and that's what anyway, you know what I mean. And here I thought talking to Mike would be easier. I swear the other takes were a lot more eloquent. Anyway, so you can kind of pick up where I'm coming from. We're going to try it again anyway. I am going to keep my promise of getting rid of the Discord, though, my personal Discord for now. Just because that may help at least give me enough of that mental bridge that will help save a little bit of energy and keep me a little bit more on par. If that makes any sense? Probably doesn't. But I could explain it more later on if it does seem to have an impact, why it does. We'll just keep watching the puppy and hoping she's better. And she's, like I said, she's stabilized a little bit more. So it's settling into the long haul, and she's a lot more comfortable than she was a week ago. But like all of you, I hate this. I hate it. I hate the fact we're going into the winter. I hate the fact we've had to been locked indoors for so long. I hate the fact that everybody's on edge. I hate the fact we've all been kind of in vault situations. We should also almost be playing Fallout for the next 3 years straight just to appreciate it all, right? I hate it. I hate the up and down. I hate the moodiness. I hate trying to keep myself focused at work and trying to pretend to keep myself sane while I watch friend after friend after friend lose their jobs or lose their homes or lose their positions or whatever and have to scramble. I hate it. I'm tired of it. Hopefully that'll start changing. But anyway, before I start rambling too much, I do want to say what I did say in the last take, which was thank you. There's been a lot of you who've been checking in on me, checking in on others, who have been real in a lot of this, and I appreciate that. And there's people that I've reached out to as well, and friends that I've tried to keep in contact with, or friends that I haven't heard from for a long time, and heard back from them, and I'm glad to hear that we can keep some of those connections. So for those of you who have hung around for the long haul, I do appreciate you. Because it's you guys that still make me feel a little human, and that was the whole reason I started going into content creation for YouTube anyway. Is 4 years ago, 2006, September 2016. So we're about 4 years now that I've been creating stuff. Well, seriously, I mean, I started in 2010. Let's not be beating around the bush here. I thought I'd be famous a long time ago, but I got into it seriously because I wanted to meet people and like-minded people, and I have. And for those of you who have been around for the long haul, I do appreciate it. I appreciate you. And you all know who you are. Whether we're acquaintances on Twitter, whether we're friends through Twitch, friends through the Discord that watch on Twitch, friends who have followed me through YouTube, people who have met me through a variety of different connections through forums or where have you. I appreciate it for those of you who have stuck it out or have been interested to come along on this ride, at least to watch from a distance. I appreciate it. And that's been keeping me sane. And I think it's been keeping us all sane. And I think that's all sometimes we can ask for. Anyway, I've got a couple Heineken Zeros here I'm going to drink. And then I'm going to not look at my work laptop, although I did work a little bit tonight because that's where my anxiety's been going lately. And hopefully not wake up in dread tomorrow. But they're just feelings. At least for me, they are. At the moment. If I can get them to a certain position, I can push them off. And that's what I'm hoping to get to. So, if that makes any sense. I have ideas for next year. I do. So, while I can still hold your attention for another couple minutes, I am bringing Skyrim back, like it could ever really leave. The Tactical series is probably never going to come back. That was kind of a mixed bag of trying to kick things forward to keep a Skyrim series going, and my heart wasn't in it. Because I didn't have a story. I've got a story now. I've got a character. I've got a name. I've got a story. And what I haven't done with Skyrim is I've never given a voice before. And it will be a he. But it won't be the kind of character you expect. But I didn't give Katsuragi a voice from the Skyrim series, so if you haven't checked out the old YouTube playthrough when I was still Dead Linux, which I technically speaking am still Dead Linux, he didn't have a voice. Well, he occasionally did. Jackio had a voice through writing only, which I still need to produce that and release that. So I still have the Skyrim journal that I want to edit and upload so you guys can all grab that if you're interested. That's all the poetry I wrote during that playthrough for a year and a half. And then this one's going to have an actual verbal voice. Won't be as frequent. May only happen once or twice, but I have a voice in mind. Well, I have a person in mind. So we'll see how it goes. But that'll be 2021. Don't know when. It may be starting on YouTube first to get it started. And then once it's got its feet planted, then I'll introduce it to the stream. But we still got Enderall that we haven't given a fair shot to, so we'll be playing that for the duration, at least for a month or two yet. And then Death Stranding will stay on the rotation until that game is finished. And then once it's done, we're going to put it away and have a long, long rest about that. No, we won't. And then I've got a couple other games on the horizon to move into rotation and do things with, so it'll be a mixed bag, as it usually is. And then I have another idea for when the Discord is finally wrapped up of how we can still kind of have a little bit of community time. We'll see if it works out. But they're all ideas and they're all plans and thoughts, and to do that I have to keep motion, inertia. And that's where getting hit with depression sucks. And as you all know, and again, it's been bad enough to throw me off my game, and I hate that. That's what I'll say. But it's also been one of those things where I've been ignoring it for far too long. And without taking it seriously, it's been... what's the word I would use? It's been insinuating itself into other ways. It's been appearing... I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Maybe you can think of the word I'm looking for. You can put it in the comments. But it's... It's manifesting. You probably already wrote that. In other ways. Negative ways. And I can't let that happen. So, I shouldn't. There's that should word. And we'll fall and rise and fall again, only to do it another day. But anyway, I've talked for 15 minutes now. But thank you again. Thank you for watching. Have a safe and happy holiday season. And we will see you all next time.